So I think it's important to surround yourself around people that you feel like can come from where you come from because you can relate. So you guys, I know you can relate to me if you're watching this. I know you can relate to me and where I came from, and you can take that and you could be like, I can do it. Because I know you guys are better than me. So if you see me, you be like, she did it, man. I could do that. And that's exactly how I want you guys to feel. That's exactly how I want you to get motivated. Hey guys, what's going on? So you are on the I Don't Have a Name For It Yet podcast. So on this podcast, we're going to talk about, my favorite quote is the journey is the destination. So pretty much all about journey, entrepreneurship, the toll that it takes on you, family life, all that. I think it's important to see people who look like you succeed. So not only look like you, but be from the same places that you're from. So you can be like, okay, I can make it. Because it's easy to look at somebody else's success and be like, okay, they came from a different background than me. So that's why they're successful. All right, let's get started. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm Hollyhood Tay, and I go by Hollyhood Tay because the name Hollyhood is like a mixture of the hood and Hollywood, of course. So I got the name from rapping. Started rapping when I was 12. So I always thought of a bigger picture to that name, if you will. All right, so that name always meant to me elevating from your circumstances, because I was in the hood, since I was young. I was in one of the poorest cities in America, Reading, PA. And, single mom, 4 kids. And she, definitely did the best that she could to raise us. We just went through a lot of struggles. So, yeah. So hood and going to Hollywood. So the plan is to elevate from your circumstances. So that's the brand Hollyhood. Being from lesser circumstances, poor circumstances, or any struggle that you may face, and elevating that and get into Hollywood. That's where you get Hollyhood from. So it is important that you guys understand that, and you guys understand where I'm going with this and the vision for this. Yeah. So I think it's important to surround yourself around people that you feel like can come from where you come from because you can relate. So you guys, I know you can relate to me if you're watching this. I know you can relate to me and where I came from, and you can take that and you could be like, I can do it. Because I know you guys are better than me. So if you see me, you be like, she did it, man. I could do that. And that's exactly how I want you guys to feel. That's exactly how I want you to get motivated. All right, so let's get into the story. All right, so like I said, I'm from a small town, Reading, PA. Started rapping when I was 12, and that was just an escape. We had all row homes, so there's 10 homes on one block just stuck together, and there's an alleyway between that. So that's where I grew up. I grew up on South 10th Street. Hung out with mostly boys. A lot of the kids that I hung out with growing up actually ended up passing to gun violence or whatever, or locked up for a long time. And it's crazy, it's like a trap. That's why I guess they call it the trap, because it's you are who you hang around. So, and people can disagree with that statement, but I feel like you are, you only see what you hang around. So you only believe in what you hang around. So if you see everybody that you hang around, okay, they're either dying or they're going to jail for a really long time. It's okay, so what's the path for me coming from this same place? Even though I'm a female, it's a lot different, I guess, for males growing up in that type of situation in the hood, because they kind of only have they see all their friends and they get into the gang violence and all that stuff. And I mean, females could do the same thing, but I was just always kind of mellow and chill and never wanted to get into any drama. I was always kind of the friend nah, let's not do that. Always the mom, I guess. And I have a twin sister, so she was always with the shits. But all right, so yeah, so that's where I grew up. I always felt like I had this mindset, I always had my mindset somewhere else, I'm gonna elevate. Since I was young, I'm I'm gonna make it in music. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna bought my mom a crib, because we struggled a lot when we were younger. We struggled with homelessness. Like my mom brought her home and she battled depression a lot. So the thing is, like, I know it's hard. It's hard for a mother. Like, I have one kid now and I'm 28. She had four. So she had four by herself trying to work. So that's very stressful. So I know, like, she's always battled with, depression. So there was times where she just let it go. So we lost the house. We had to move into somebody's basement. And this is where, like, a lot of my music, a lot of, like, me, like, indulging in music, like, really took off, because when you're in, like, a stressful situation like that, the only escape is music. So I just, always wrote music just to get away from living in a basement, but people would see me, they would have no idea that I was, like, going through this. Like, I always try to look good. I always was happy, funny, rapping, so, like, you never know what type of, everybody was going through circumstances, though, from where we came from. But I just felt like we reached the all-time low. And that really took a toll, I guess, on my mom mentally too, even more, because she's like, damn, how could I get to this point? I'm at the age where I'm looking at my mom like, how could she let this happen to us? And I feel bad because I said it to my sister, and the whole night, we're in the one room basement, so my mom hears it. We thought she was sleeping. She cried the whole night. Like, she cried the whole night. But I'm just like, I'm at the point where, like, this is, who I'm looking to for guidance and how to be, someone in life or whatever. And then for us to get to that point, it totally broke me. And I guess it kind of built the spirit in me. Like, damn, I can't count on nobody. So from that point, rapping to escape, so and it resonated with a lot of people. Like, I would release my raps on YouTube, on not YouTube, on Facebook, and I started building a community. People, like, resonate with me. That time I was smoking a lot of weed, because that's what I do, like, when I really need to escape. It was just me and my sister. We got two other brothers, but my brothers were sent away to Florida, so my mom didn't want my brothers to live through that situation, because like I said, it is kind of harder for men in that type of environment. So she didn't want them to get into any, like, violence or anything like that. It was a little easier for us because me and my sister were together. We were twins. We were in the mix. We had a lot of friends, so we didn't really get into problems and stuff like that. But for boys, I guess it's different. Yeah, so we went through that tough time all together in that basement. That took a lot from me. Since I was younger, I would always, like, draw houses and stuff. So I was always interested in drawing homes, right? And, like, I just got more into it because I'm like, there's a stability, like, if we owned a home, we wouldn't be in this situation. I always wanted to be an architectural engineer. I got certified for architectural engineering, but then I started finding a love for rapping. So I was, like, dead set on, being a rapper. But I got into recording because of my cousin. One day, he was recording a song. I was like 12. I was like, let me get on the mic. He had his own studio. Shout out to my cousin Jerome. He recorded us. He made the beat. He had the piano and everything. First song, took it back to the hood. And it was like, wow, like, this is really good. Like, we had it on a CD play for all of our friends, and they were like, yeah, y'all gonna make it. Y'all gonna make it. So I guess we always kind of just, like, inspire the people around us, like, with music. Like, I would always just freestyle, stuff like that, just inspire everybody in the situation. So yeah, so I got older. Then, friends passed away, stuff like that. So I kept using my music to inspire. Like, I was, like, kind of a shy kid. Like, I was a shy girl, middle school, stuff like that. High school is where I really kind of blossomed because of music. Because I was the rapper. Like, oh, that's Hollywood Tay. Like, so I was shy, but I was expressive with my music. So I always like would express what I'm going through. That's why I feel like music has to be real. Music has to be authentic to you, because if you're just making music that has no meaning, it's kind of like, what are you making for? Like, who are you inspiring? What are you putting out into this world? So I was always really serious about my message, about what I'm releasing. And then, yeah, so I actually started getting more relevant in my community from music. Like, I released this song that was a tribute pretty much to everybody who passed. So my Facebook started getting really big. So I made a status like, everybody, if you lost somebody, message me. Tell me their names, tell me their story, and I'm going to put it all in a song. Well, actually, really, how it started is my friend, Athlete. She passed. It was a terrible story of her boyfriend at the time, and just for respect for her family, I don't want to get into the story, but I had a dream about her, and she smiled, and like she just said thank you, like, and I was like, oh my god, like I was trying to warn her that she was gonna pass, and she was like, I already know, like I already did. She's like, but thank you. And I'm like wondering like what she's saying thank you for. I woke up and I wrote this song. And it like it went viral. Like it went viral in my town. So I was like, oh, like, and then like her family was like, we're gonna play it at the funeral. And I really got like a sense of purpose, like when my music actually like just did something like to people's souls, because I'm like, this song actually had a purpose. It wasn't like I was just making a song, even though I always wrote songs with a purpose. This one was like very special because I had a dream and everything, and I just felt like it flowed. So yeah, so I kept that going. I wrote a song for everybody who passed. I'm like, if you had someone who passed in Reading, PA, send me their names and I'm going to write a song about it. I'm going to make sure that, they're remembered forever, because the song lives on forever. Everybody sent me their names. I wrote the song. That went viral. So that everybody started rocking with me at that point. Because it's just deeper, like it's just deeper than music. Now we got like a soul connection. I'm making sure that your loved ones, my loved ones, are remembered. Yeah, so that's where the love from music came from. And throughout high school, I was studying for my architectural drafting certificate. I got certified, but then I felt like the field wasn't gonna be around like for very long. So I always wanted to jump into real estate. I always had a passion for real estate. Like when we lost our house, I'm like, damn, like, and the crazy thing is I know like a wholesaler bought it, because they brought it from my mom for like $2,000. And then I felt like I didn't like how some people prey on people in terrible situations, because she could have kept that house. Like she could have kept that house if she was in the right mind state. But they brought it from her for like $2,000. And she's like, she didn't have the right mindset. She would have still had a house. She sold it. She's like, yeah, let me get this quick cash or whatever. But I guess people who, are educated on the situation, they did what they had to do. And I don't blame them, of course, for the situation. But I'm like, I never liked that preying on the weak or people who aren't educated. So I'm like, damn, if I had the knowledge, then I would fix this house up, make sure we keep it, pay this stuff. But I was only like 13. And when we were in that basement, all I would do is pray. I would pray all the time. I would cry, pray out to God. I'm like, God, like, please, like, all I want is a house for Christmas. Like, can we just all have a house? Can, my mom get over this depression? Can we just start prevailing? But it seemed like every time we prevail, it's like, choo. And I know that's how life goes. It's like up, down, you feel good. And then you're just like, in the back of your mind, you're like, damn, I know that shit may not be good forever. So I want to be happy, but let me not be too happy. So we finally, after a long time living in this basement, my mom was a home health aide, so one of her patients actually let us live in his basement. And it was a basement, not like a finished basement, nothing. This was a basement. Talking about spider web basement. Like I mean it had like a little kitchenette though, and it had a shower. But this ain't the type of basement you invite friends over and nobody's coming to my house. Nobody's gonna know where I live. Yeah, so we finally got out of that situation. It took my mom a little bit to get out of her depression, and then she finally got a place. By this time, we were like 15, 16. So we got a place, and then we had that for like a year, and then she fell into another one. So at this time, I'm like, okay, I'm 16, 17, or I was 17. We had graduated. Like, I'm done. I'm out. Like, I can't count on you to keep me stable. So I left. I moved in with a significant other that I had at the time, and I was young, and like I was going through my family issues, and we just lived there in a 1 bedroom apartment. So it just seems like, things go in cycles, but I guess it's the way that you prevail because, of course, I'm getting more popping in music. Then eventually I start studying for my real estate license, of course. That's way down the line. But of course, coming from the background I come from where, a home, like we never really had a stable home. So it's like, it's one of the most important things to me now that I have a son. It's like creating that stability for other families and for my own family. Because the more that you help people get what they want, the more that you get what you want. So where my love for real estate and music stems from, it's really my struggles and everything. I guess it's more than that because it kind of was always in me. Like since I was a kid, I was writing music and drawing houses. So I think that we can find what our purpose or our dreams, what we're meant to do if you're kind of struggling with like what you want to do in life. I think you could find it in what you used to do as a kid. Like before bills came in, before, life kind of confused you, you can definitely find your talent or what your purpose is, because like I feel like your purpose is something that you would do for free. So something that, like, all money aside, whatever, you do this for free even if it didn't make no money, because that's kind of how entrepreneurship is. It's like you can do all of this and it may not even make no money, and it may not. So you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with doing something every day, and it may or may not pan out for you, but you got to be okay with doing that. I'm still doing music, actually finally making money. Like for like the past 2 years, it's one of my entrepreneurship incomes. It pays my bills, music, features, and we're going to get into that on another episode about, how to make money from music, how to make a livable income from music and real estate. So those are my primary sources. I have more sources of income, but those are my primary. And I don't quit my job, and we moved to Atlanta. So here we are. So I definitely want to get into more of my story, but I don't want to make this video too long. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and wait for part 2. We're going to get into more of my story. We're going to get into the successes. So now I'm actually a realtor in the Atlanta area, and I've helped $1 million clients. I've helped $200,000, $300,000 clients, $100,000 clients. I'm just making sure everybody can elevate, and I attract the people who are just like me, the people who see me and know, like, you could just feel where somebody comes from, like, oh, she gets it. Like, so I rap and educate folks on real estate. Yeah, guys, let's grow together and let's go on this entrepreneurship journey. Eventually, I'll think of a name for this podcast, but please, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's build a community and let's go from there. All right, peace.